Good evening, everyone. It is 10 after 9 on a Tuesday night, March 12th, as we get ready to dive into tonight's session of The Curse of Strahd. Last time, our heroes survived a very dangerous encounter with a pack of ravenous vampire spawn that were hiding in the attic of the coffin maker's house. After surviving that encounter, they returned the bones of St. Andral back to the church, thereby reinstating the protective ward protecting and encapsulating the town of Vallaki, keeping Strahd at bay. After doing that, the party traveled north, seeking out the lake of Vallaki, or Lake Zarovik, where they found the fisherman Bluto Krogorov in his boat in the middle of the lake, and unbeknownst to the party, the young Arabelle in a burlap sack, which he then proceeded to throw overboard, hoping to sacrifice her to appease whatever spirits were in the lake, preventing him from fishing a good haul. The party successfully rescued her and returned her to her family just outside of Vallaki, and as a reward were given an option of various gifts. The one selected was a large, very well-crafted rug. With their treasure in hand, the party began to return to Vallaki proper, but were beset off the road by a couple of werewolves, as they revealed themselves to be, and their direwolf companions. During the ensuing scuffle, a member of the party showed the secret that he held within, as Renault revealed himself to be a Lycanthrope himself. But rather than siding with his Lupin brethren, he sided with his companions, turning his claws against their aggressors. As the last of the bloodletting occurred, staining the ground crimson, the party turned to face each other, taking stock of the great beast of a man that stand before them. And with that, we begin tonight's session. As I said to the chat, everyone, we stand before the currently quite massive form of Renault, as Wilhelmina is currently still concentrating on her enlarged spell.
Would you stop that? I'm already intimidating enough as it is.
Oh, yep. You just see Wilhelmina just like shake her head as she tries to take off the spell.
While Renault was enlarged, you can see Grub, like he's tapping the top of his forehead. He's trying to, like, with his arm, try to reach up, see how much of a height difference between him and Renault is while he's enlarged as a werewolf.
Above game, how tall is Renault again?
It has been a while. Let me check to see if I actually gave him an official height. Let's see, core bio, 5'10".
So, now then my brain had shut down for a moment since you were in your lycanthrope form while enlarged. You were standing at about 11 foot 8 inches.
Ooh.
because the enlarge spell doubles your height and quadruples your weight. Like, you were massive.
You were giant.
Big fluffy boy.
It feels like I think I might have the music still just a little too loud on my end. There we go. Here, let's switch this. Please feel free to roleplay as you see fit. The stage is yours.
But yeah, like as he's shrinking down, as enlarging's fading, you just hear Grub whistle a little bit in astonishment.
Really? That's all you got. You see a lycanthrope, and they get pushed to taller than 10 feet tall, and all you can do is really.
Kind of just shrugs a little bit, and he's like, I have seen many things before.
You've seen multiples of, well, maybe not my kind, but you've seen multiples of werewolves out here trying to tear out your throat, and mine, mind you.
Yes, but after our time spent together, I trust you so far. It's definitely a little bit of surprise, but hey, maybe you can help. You've been helpful so far. I appreciate the help.
And Ren kind of gives Grub a look and says, that's the kind of trust that could get a person killed.
Oh,
I mean, not saying I don't appreciate it, but yeah.
Oh, believe me, death is a familiar sensation.
No, he's right. He just turned into a fucking werewolf right in front of us, and all you guys have got is meat. I'm sorry, I'm freaking out a wee bit. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Wilmy just looks at Taryn. It's like, I didn't even know until I was told, please take the spell off. Although I will say you were much more intimidating when you were much, much taller.
You have control of this, right?
Yes?
That is vague and inconvincing.
I mean, currently,
It's
sorry.
It's lycanthropy. It's not something that you can just snap your fingers and control. It's a corruption, all right?
No, I get that.
My understanding is that if perhaps you are blessed by a god like, I don't know, Saluna or somebody that can look favorably on lycanthropes and not immediately want to blast your ass with holy magic, then yes, it's possible to control it fully. But now, I just got here. I was infected, how many months has it been? When did we get here? How long have we been here even?
We've been here.
Real quick, was that above game or in character?
That's in game because he can't remember really
All right.
all that much.
As you ask that, I would like everybody to roll me survivals.
Oh yeah, I am great at those, man.
Yeah, absolute shy of those.
Alright, give me a second. Roll 20 is being a little slow.
That's not bad.
Yeah, because currently, basically, what you guys are all doing is kind of tapping into your internal clock to kind of, as Renault was asking that, everybody kind of pauses and thinks to themselves, like, wait, how fucking long have we been here? And after a brief bit of time, Taryn and Grub, you guys think it's been almost a 10-day? Like, not quite a full week that you guys have been here in Barovia since you guys first met at that stone bench in the mist. Wilhelmina and Renault, you guys are much more certain. It has been about 5 days. 6 days, sorry. So
So
almost a full 10 day. Like over
Okay.
half a week.
Okay, so maybe a 10-day, and before that, I think of a couple of months.
I will say with that survival, you know you've been dealing with this for probably almost 3 whole months.
Yeah, 3 months, give or take a week or so. You don't get a chance to look at a calendar, yeah, and well, when you're having to struggle against the moon, you don't really pay much attention to the phases, if you can understand that.
Oh, that's completely understandable. It's just the thing that's confusing me is the fact of how these two are extremely hunky-dory about this.
When did I say I was ever hunky-dory?
You seem quite calm and collected for this situation.
Well, Grub does at least.
Wilhelmina just goes up to Taryn. I was terrified, and I was more in shock and just not doing anything.
Yeah, you weren't freaking out. That's what I'm saying.
And now,
It's called shock and just standing still.
Okay. Also, just as a point of thought for everybody to take in, while you guys are having your existential crises, your freakouts, your appreciation, as the cases may be, all of this is going on while Renault is still standing there in his werewolf form. He has not shifted back and is engaging you all in intelligent conversation. Carry on.
So just got a quick question, and I know this is going to be really fucking weird. You have thumbs, right?
what kind of question is that?
I'm just
Yes, I have
curious.
thumbs.
I've never been this close to a werewolf and actually have the opportunity to ask questions. You have thumbs, you have a tail.
Wilhelmina just slightly pokes her head in there. Lycanthrope.
Yeah, I have thumbs. Yes, I have a tail. And if you're going to take the time to investigate right now, guess what? I have middle fingers.
I mean, that's fair.
That's great.
I'm sorry, I'm giving you inspiration for that.
Touche.
Just kind of shrugs a little bit, you know. He did share. Obviously, this has been above game in a while ago. He did share he did have a pretty positive relationship, not exactly a friendship, but with a werebear before. So keep that in mind. But anyways, but Grub just kind of he shrugs a little bit. And he was like, I mean, everyone's different. I'm sure we were all kind of plucked and kind of put here. You haven't run a sword through me yet. I haven't ran a sword through you guys yet. And yes, it's a bit hairy of a situation, as he just kind of gives a mild head nudge towards, Renault. But he was like, but if we all promise not to kill each other and we help this area out, who am I to judge? We all have our secrets.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder about that. If you're so calm seeing a werewolf being enlarged, what the hell have you seen that would make you so calm? Other than having a werebear companion or a positive relationship.
We see the gray hair here. I have lived quite a life.
I mean, shit, I've got grey hair too.
Like half my body is gray hair.
Okay,
Right now.
precisely. The only one that doesn't have a grey hair is Wilhelmina.
Look, I am proud of that fact.
Well, that we can tell.
I do not dye this hair, thank you very much.
Insight check.
Damn.
What a dick.
The 7.
dare you?
But look, if it's a matter of worrying whether or not I can keep myself under control, yes. Right now I can. Granted, I sometimes get a little no. Granted, I get pissy when I'm like this, but I feel like anybody would if the bones in their face and body were suddenly rearranged.
Does have a point.
That would
Again.
be painful.
Again,
And you ended up getting like 5 degrees hotter than you're normally used to.
Want me to just kind of goes, whoa.
I can't go into any taverns without someone commenting I smell like a wet dog.
Well, I mean, it's better to be a wet dog than some other things, but ooh.
I mean, I didn't want to say.
I suppose that's fair.
But you are good, right?
Great question.
I
This
don't-
is. Oh, sorry.
I don't kill people indiscriminately. I still kill I still kill people I'm hired to kill. But I don't like well I don't think I've eaten people yet.
Eyebrow raise.
Look,
Alright.
when it's like your first time, it's a haze. I remember waking up, shoot, and he's trying to recall. I remember sleeping against a tree, and then something attacking me. The scar that I have, you see, it's.
Yes.
I remember feeling hot, feeling very angry, angrier than I've ever known in my life. When I woke up, I was just covered in blood, but I don't think I was near any settlements. I was in the middle of the woods when I woke up.
Interesting.
And if there were any remains, I just kind of staggered away, just trying to process everything.
That's fair.
While you are dwelling on this, how hard are you like focusing on trying to remember everything you can from that first transformation? How sharp of a picture are you trying to call to mind?
Trying to pick out at least, vivid images that, might suggest, that might hint at what he had attacked. He doesn't know for sure.
Give me just 1 second. Let me look at your sheet so I can decide what I want you to roll. Roll me a wisdom saving throw. I'll give you advantage for it.
Okay.
There we go. Because as you are still you're in this transformed state, your emotions are still heightened and elevated from the adrenaline of the combat and the fact that, not only did you come a lot closer to death in this form than you would be comfortable, reaching to, but one of your companions that you were fighting savagely to protect also ended up in fairly dire states. And with all of that becoming just a seething concoction of emotion and just energy, it connects to that memory because you were also in a heightened state of emotion and adrenaline and fear and fury, and you start having flashes of memory of prey, of hunger, desire for the prey. And the prey was moving, the prey was fast, the prey was afraid. And that made the hunt that much more pleasurable. And you sought, you pursued through the woods, over fallen trees, through the brush. You were faster than it, because it was taking more time to go around obstacles that you were a lot more adept and adroit at evading. And finally, you have your vision focuses on a memory of you're pulling away from darkness, from your face being buried, and you see your muzzle at the in your field of vision is matted and damp and stained red as you are eating by the fistful the flesh of a deer that you had chased down and brutally killed in very, very, very savage, eager, hungry fashion. And with that memory there, you realize that doe was the only thing that died by your claws and fangs on the night of your first transformation. As the rest of the memory from that night, which comes in snapshots, is of you running through the woods, just lost and howling and baying away. The feral instincts, fully both hands on the reins, driving you forward.
Yeah. I don't think Yeah. No, I did not kill any humans. It was a deer, which would explain a lot, actually. I like venison. But damn it, I could have tried it and... never mind.
Alright.
Why am I not changing back yet? What's the moon like?
As you look up, it is not quite full. You would assume... actually, no. By the normal lunar cycle, you would assume that it's only halfway through its moon phase. But as you ask yourself that, hijacking your sheet for just a moment, double checking some of your notes here. Okay. Yeah. Now, as you ask, why haven't you transformed back yet? You can feel your heart rate kind of easing, and if you so desire, Ren, you can shift back to your humanoid form. There's no check involved.
Perfect. I think I've calmed down enough. It's something that's conscious when I'm like this, but if you feel that you can trust me in this form, and if you feel it would be useful for the remainder of our traveling, then I can maintain it for a little while longer, I think.
Well, that's good to know.
I don't think. I forgot what village we're just outside of that we're heading back to.
Valaki.
I don't think the citizens of Valaki are going to care much for your appearance as it is right now. I trust you. I mean, you haven't killed us yet, and we've already done some insane things already. I do think your skills and your senses and even this appearance might lend us a hand through our adventures. I see no reason to not keep you. If I said that right.
So, should we return back? If so, then I should probably change back.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
To be fair, I took quite a battering in that fight. But I will say this, I've got no problem with you at the moment. But you try and bite me, I'm booping you on the nose. But she raised a fist.
You're gonna use a fist? I was just going to tackle. But
I punch things with lightning fists.
You boot me, I will use you as a bush.
And then the water begins.
And now above game, I'm reminded of the old adage in life. Take everything like a dog does. If you can't eat it or fuck on, piss on it and walk on. Dog's got the right idea of it.
Right.
Alright, then I will change back.
I don't think it's gonna be good for tonight to still have it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Unless we got that one more.
But as you return to your normal humanoid form, your maw retracting, the bones readjusting, it's still uncomfortable because it's still a new ability to you, Renault, but you notice it's not as painful as before. It's still very uncomfortable. And you start to suspect that the more that you make use of this form, the easier and more natural and organic to you this transformation will eventually feel.
Not as bad as it was.
So. Right. That's a thing. Shall we?
Yeah.
You can still see Targe, like, still trying to comprehend what the fuck. It's like,
So, as we return to Vallaki, once I recall where, there we go. Let's. Once I can figure out where the hell I put the party token. There it is, right there in the middle.
Nice.
Alright, so. Alright. Going to turn that down just a little bit more. That's. Alright, so, great. My brain shut down. Why? Why? Ah, there we go. As you guys return to the town, you have you guys had any short rests yet? Actually, no. It's been a long enough day. I think it would be time for a long rest.
Yeah, I think so.
So we would actually be returning to the Blue Water Inn.
Back to the inn.
And these two gentlemen are no longer here right now. But, so, you guys return to the inn. There's my notes. As you guys enter into the tavern, as you guys are approaching, you do see, there's like a small collective of ravens perched about as you guys enter into the courtyard of the tavern, and they abruptly take flight as you guys approach, entering into the tavern proper. There's sorry, my notes are slightly confusing me. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on here at the moment. You guys are able to acquire, a warm meal, passably good. It's nothing, 5-star. It's not a 3-star Michelin meal, but it's filling, meets nutritional needs, and some nice mead, and then the keys to the room that you guys will be sleeping in for the night. If there's nothing... Ah, yes, okay. Took me a moment. So, as you guys enjoy your meal and retire for the night, unless there's any queries that you guys may have, it is a very uneventful night of sleep, and you guys get the benefit of a long rest.
Woo.
Yay.
I'll take that long rest, yo.
Yep.
Sweet spell slot.
Okay, so Okay, so
Oh, shit.
as
I'm
you
dropping. Don't worry about it.
as you guys wake and exit, just got a raid coming in. Sorry.
I was wondering where Thrain was.
Yep. Welcome in, raiders. Not going to be able to spend too much time in the greeting. We need to keep on the game, but welcome in, welcome in. So as you guys wake, you come out, and there's a lot of preparation going on. There's posters and heralds going out and guards, just lots of people, very official looking people going door to door and reminding individuals that there is that the Feast of St. Andral is to be had tonight. But yeah, so double checking things. All right, so you guys have had there's not a whole lot to go on today. You don't have a lot of leads. But there is, like I said, the feast, the celebration this night. Is there? I'm going to switch us back to the town map, or would you guys like to look at the world map to try to see if there's anything else you guys might want to do There's not a whole lot of things you guys can do if you want to be here for the feast, the celebration tonight. So at the very least, I will start us off over here on the town map. There are shops that you guys could potentially go looking into if you wish.
The only leads we currently have are all the leads that were given to us by the fortune teller, correct?
Correct. And most of those are fairly lost on you as to narrowing down a lot of them.
We even went to the library to check, and it's still like we might know where potentially one is, but
Right.
one of the one that deals with the body ended up getting carried into some body of water. We don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
Great, now I gotta pull up those so I can remember what all of them were.
I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to the highest peak. Go to the mountains, climb the white tower guarded by golden knights. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. He sits upon his dark throne.
Yeah.
We know what the last one is. That's Strahd. The wizard, I think, was the one that is somewhere in the water. We just don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that we could potentially figure out is the highest peak, but I know that's really far regardless of where we go.
Wasn't the festivities also a mandatory participation?
For all
Yes.
citizens.
Citizens, okay.
We are not citizens.
I don't think if they're that strict, I don't think it matters. They'll probably expect us anyway.
Especially after some of us may recognize us after the vampires.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you guys might be able to meet someone who might be able to provide more information.
That
So
is
far,
also
you're
true.
right.
So, that all said, that all said, if you guys wish to ask about some of the shops in town, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that somebody would have asked the barkeep about shops, what points of interest in town for those looking to either potentially spend coin or make coin could go. And naturally she would with a laugh say, well, right here at your local tavern and inn, but food and drink will only carry you so far. There's Thimdall's Armaments. He's a blacksmith and leatherworker. There's the Third Eye Potions and Sundries. At the Dusklight Supply Shop. If you're looking for books, there's Jonvik and Sons. And if you're looking for something of the archery variety, Seligal over by the Vistani camp. He's where a lot of our guards acquire their bows and arrows. The town has a trade agreement. He brings in goods, and they give him stuff that he needs at the camp. And Jenny's always got something interesting going on over by her shack, so
Something interesting?
She's an herbalist. She's always finding interesting flowers, fungi. With that, let me move this over here so I can actually plant these markers. So,
Excuse me.
All good.
did somebody accidentally? Wait, oh, did I not set it to auto replay? Oh no. The music glitched out on me for a moment. So
Gotcha.
it was very, very confusing for a moment. All right, let me see. There we go. So we have. Nope, I don't like that. I need to go with larger size. Nope, I don't like that color either. All right, we'll go bright green for the different colors. So we have the Tavern and Inn right there,
Alrighty.
and there's the blacksmith and leatherworker, apothecary. Let me get my bearings straight. It's right here, off to the side. Why are you doing- All right, fine. That one's just being really, really dodgy. Or maybe it's just Watch Together that's being really dodgy.
Because I can hear mine on my side.
Yeah, same here.
It keeps like stuttering out on me. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyways, apothecary over to the east side of town. Then we have the general store, which is there.
Well, I don't really need shopping, personally.
And then there's the tailor's shop is the last one. And their shop is right here.
Wilhelmina's looking at how much money she has. I would do shopping if I wasn't dirt ass poor.
I mean, I still have some of this jewelry I can sell.
Yeah, you do have stuff that you can potentially trade and barter. And you will notice that number 6, which is the Fletcher Boyer Seligal, is not on the map, but that's because his house is in the Vistani camp, and that's where he does his business.
Yep, I heard it there.
Why is it doing that? That's very frustrating.
It's
would be- I'd
Go
be
ahead.
interested in selling the gems we picked up from that first house. 'Cause we
Yeah,
have-
I've still got jewelry and gems to sell as well, so.
And a rug.
Yeah, that motherfucking rug.
Look.
Mhm.
Been through this. It was a vote. And I think this rug is important. For some reason.
It's a rug.
It is a rug. Yes. I've got a feeling this rug might be useful.
If I have to try to sell somebody a rug that we got, this is gonna be interesting.
But it's my rug.
Party's rug.
We all helped each other with that. It is not just your rug.
Look, when we're camping, you'll be happy to have a rug to sleep on. Just saying.
Oh, so now we're gonna sell them a used rug.
It's always been a used rug.
Do you know how hard it is for me to tell them how wonderful? You just hear the seething in her voice. How wonderful this rug absolutely is. You can make it into a cloak. You can, like you said, make it into a bed. Maybe you can put it on your table. Hell, maybe you can make a burrito sandwich or something with it.
What's a burrito?
We don't ask those questions.
I mean, if you want me to make a fucking cloak out of it, I'll go make a cloak out of it.
But
How
it's
about
gonna be even more worthless.
Then what's the complaint? The rug will be handy.
We still have to hold this rug around.
I will hold or lug the rug around so you guys don't have to. How about that?
You know, that's fair. And you can use it as a bludgeoning tool.
You can also use it as a makeshift tent.
I mean,
I'm
we
short
could also
enough.
wrap a body in it and, check it downstream.
To be fair, we haven't unrolled this fucking thing yet. There could be anything in there.
Could have done this at the inn. Wait, are we still in the inn?
Technically, yes.
Well, since we're still in the inn, we may as well check out the rug.
Alright. Pull the rug off my back and I'll just unfold it.
Alright, now I gotta scroll back down my notes for exactly the details of...
See if the rug is actually something. I fucking called it. But if not, fair
I
enough,
think
I'll
we-
go to rug.
I thought we did discuss it was just a rug.
As you open it
In
up,
character, we don't know what this rug's
as you open it up, it is a 10-foot square rug with an exquisite unicorn motif.
I can bullshit that the unicorn comes alive. If you say the super secret special words.
Well, super secret special words. So yeah, I believe they come along the lines of bullshit.
Well, Strahd lives in a castle, and this is mildly exquisite. Maybe we could sell it to Strahd as a way to get in. Or just a band of carpet sellers.
Maybe it's a goodwill gesture to Strahd himself. I don't know. Look, either way, I want to keep the rug. I will give you all the gold I have in exchange if you want it, and all this jewelry and whatnot.
I think us as a group needs that.
Yeah, you need the
Fine.
gold.
I don't need the gold that much.
There's a pull out the sack of gemstones. Look, you can have these, and I'll take the rug.
I feel like we should probably sell the gemstones, though.
That's what I'm saying. You sell the gemstones, we have the gold. Or you guys have the gold, I have the rug. It's not a problem then, is it?
Oh, Amina's still just so pissed about this rug. She's so happy-go-lucky about everything else but this damn rug. Well, you know what? As long as you handle the rug, you don't need to give me money. You just handle the rug.
Alright, fine. I'll have the rug.
Philomena puts her hand out. We'll shake on it.
Alright.
Shakes hand.
I
One
just
clammy dwarven hand.
I just put out a mysterious note for you guys to use at your leisure to notate, treasure and stuff. That way, any stuff that you guys are trying to determine who gets what going forward, you guys can record it there. That way, it's nice and easily accessible by all.
Okay.
And you guys can decide amongst yourselves who wants to be designated treasurer.
Somebody already put something in there, so whoever did it, you're the treasurer now.
Goddamn rug.
Look, we all know where my decisions lead, so I don't think me being the treasurer is a good idea.
Anyways.
Louise.
So, as you guys, which of the shops would you guys like to potentially head to first? Or if you're looking to just unload the gemstones, most likely, the general store or potentially the apothecary would be your better two options.
Yeah, I was thinking the general store.
Generally a good idea.
Oh.
What?
Anyone else?
I mean, Wilhelmina really doesn't have anything she needs.
She's still limited by the rug.
Yeah, for right now.
Look, we could have had a throne. That would have been better.
That would be even worse to lug around.
Well, it was either that or 3 loot boxes.
All of it.
Right.
Wilhelmina's just like, oh.
So you guys head to the general store. I do not have a map for this because there's not really one needed. But as you come in, there's a very, very, very plain, very common looking woman standing behind the counter with the somewhat vapid expression on her face. A soft smile as she welcomes you in. And she has almost a dreamy tone as you enter. Welcome to the Dusklight Supply Shop. What can I get for you today?
I look at Wilhelmina.
What kind of goods do you have?
Well, take a look around. We have all sorts of crafting, traveling, day-to-day type supplies. And as she says that, she kind of gestures around, and everything's pretty laid apparent. There's a whole menagerie of standard craftwork gear, rope, candles, torches, lanterns, crowbars, most standard adventuring equipment. In general, imagine anything that might be used to build houses or patch wagons, and you can find it here.
Grub would, kind of look around, but he's making his way right up to her, and he was like, "Would you be willing to barter or trade for gold?"
Certainly.
Alright. And from his like small pouch, he would pull out. He has in his inventory that he's willing to sell a carnelian eye patch, a topaz pendant, and 3 gold rings.
Did you record what those values were for those?
No, I did not.
Now I gotta look through my notes. I gotta go back. I could have sworn I told you guys what the values were.
My apologies.
Although we may not get what the values were.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh wait, I think that was in the basement that you found that item, right?
Yeah, I think these were all found in the first house. I don't know which specific rooms.
Yeah. Black leather eye patch with a carnelian. Okay. All right. And you said what else?
So there was the carnelian eye patch, the topaz pendant, and 3 gold rings.
You said three rings?
Yep.
Ah, 3 gold rings. Okay, there we go. Found it all. Oh, it's also the jewelry box itself was made of silver with gold filigree.
We
It's a
also
jewelry
have
box on there.
yeah. We also have an ivory hairbrush with silver bristle.
Okay. So, as you lay these things out, do you also include that hairbrush? Wilhelmina?
That was not. Yeah, okay.
I mean, Wilhelmina's not using it.
Okay. So, as you lay them all down, she points to the first item. We'll start with as far as like actual physical size. She'll point to one of the rings. How much are you wanting to get out of that? At which point, as who all is kind of looking at these and trying to make the sale?
I mean, I can help with grub.
All right. So as the two of you are kind of teaming this, I will ask, Wilhelmina.
Yes.
Let me open your character sheet so I can see your stats, so I can see what I want you to roll. Yeah, I'll give. Roll me an intelligence check with advantage.
With advantage, okay. My good old one in there. Give me a second.
You're not certain. You're pretty sure it's worth at least 10 gold. Pretty sure all 3 of those rings are about the same value, so with that tidbit of information, how do you want to handle it? What do you want to ask for?
So do I think they're 10 gold, all 3 together?
Each.
Each? Oh, okay. She kind of looks to anybody else in the party. Do you think that's a fair assessment? She kind of whispers it.
As a dwarf who's naturally around gemstones and shit, is there any chance I know if that is reasonable for gold?
You may
Is
attempt
stone
an
cutting
intelligence.
help?
Not necessarily, but I will allow you to make an intelligence check.
Oh yay! I'm good at these. That's a 6.
Sounds about right.
There you go.
Well, at least she has somebody else's opinion in the party
I was
on
gonna,
whether this... Oh, go ahead, Grub. Hold on.
I was gonna say, I mean, that does sound like a fair price. I do also have a 5 on persuasion. Grub probably wouldn't be an expert on knowing what we are trying to sell it for would be a fair price, but he would, if the party's behind it, try to upsell it.
I mean, I think Wilmina and Grub could probably both help upsell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you want to? What is the number you wish to ask for?
I feel like if 10's a little too high, well, we'll make 10 what we want to sell it for.
Well, sell it at 12, bargain down to 10.
Yeah,
Bargain.
yeah. Bargain. Yeah, that I think that'll work.
So you're going to start asking where? Sorry.
At 12,
Okay.
try to bargain.
All right. So go ahead and deliver your bargain as you kind of slide the 3 rings. You know, as she sees you guys kind of mulling over it, she kind of positions the 3 rings together because she's assuming you're going to try to, you want her to buy all 3 of them. She has all 3 of them just kind of seated between, in the middle of the sales counter between you guys and her.
Kind of shrugs a little. He's like, well, we found these in a really nice house. And they survived quite an adventure so far. I don't think it would be unfair to ask of, let's say, 12 gold apiece.
She kind of purses her lips for a moment, looking at them.
If you'd like me to roll for persuasion on that, I can do that.
Certainly, and you have advantage.
Ooh. Oof.
And also you did get a considering I asked before I saw that that uh, that Samo is tossing boons around, boons and banes. Just being a troublemaker right now. But with that roll, she kind of nods slightly, and you see her pull out and makes 3 stacks of 12 gold, and takes the 3 rings and puts them behind the counter, pushing the 36 gold pieces to you.
I'm gonna keep writing this down. 36 gold.
Great.
All right, so the 3 rings are gone.
Trying to go through some of
So
her
what is the
stuff.
next item you wish to potentially get rid of? The brush might be a good one for the next check.
All right.
All right.
Wilhelmina's- Oh,
So I will
Sorry.
ask Wilhelmina to roll for me another intelligence check with advantage.
oh Lord.
Yes.
Not you.
You're pretty confident that this one's probably worth at least 20 gold.
Okay. I'm going to let the others just take a gander, see if what they might think.
Well, that advantage is from you
Oh.
and Grub.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that was you two kind of putting your heads together going,
Together. Okay. And then, do you have anything you want to do? Either Root. God, I almost said Ruga. Renault or Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of you want to take a gander at the ivory brush with the silver bristle?
Sure.
I don't know what kind of eye I would look at it with, but okay.
Well, just to kind of estimate how much it is.
if you wish to make an appraisal check, it's an intelligence check.
Okay. 7.
12.
You guys feel like it's worth at least 10 gold. You know, give or take a couple pieces.
I don't hunt animals, so I wouldn't know the right price of ivory, but those that move has it stolen are usually adamant at getting back, so yeah. Sounds about right.
Fair, fair. Although the silver's what's telling me it could potentially be more, because most people don't make their hairbrushes with silver. So we have 10 and 20. I'm fairly confident it's 20. Could try again to do 22. Lowest I think we should probably take is 15, and now I'm starting to think like I'm an accountant right now.
Oh,
Fuck.
oh no.
I mean, you are the persuasive one.
So, as you posit your request, as she looks to the brush and then looks politely and somewhat distantly to you, Grub.
He smiles and feels like he looks at the brush. He's like, "Oh yes, we found that in the very elegant jewelry box of a lady who has since passed. We're asking for I think a fair 22."
All right, roll your persuasion with advantage.
Oh, that wasn't with advantage, but I don't think I need that.
No, you don't need that. But go ahead and do it anyways, just in case. Roll me one more time,
Alright.
just in case you nat 20 it.
No,
Consistent.
it likes 18.
Yeah, she
Nice.
kind of sits there and nods along with you, and she goes, "That sounds like a lovely price." And she pulls
Don't
out.
forget you can use it as a weapon.
She kind of looks slightly confused as she puts down 22 gold. And then, almost as suddenly as the confusion came over her face, she's back to smiling as she picks up the brush and puts it behind the counter. You have 22 gold for the brush.
He gives her a very nice, warm, sunny smile as a thanks.
And next would be the black leather eye patch with the carnelian. Go ahead and roll me your Wilhelmina, roll me your intelligence check with advantage.
All right. Give me one moment. Intelligence.
All right. You're feeling this one should be worth at least 30 gold. At least.
At least 30.
At least 30.
Now, I've been around the stages long enough. These are a pain in the ass to get for something similar to this. I think 30 is where you want to go.
Shall we ask a little bit higher and then settle on 30 if it doesn't work?
Yeah, that works about right.
Let's see, ask for 40?
I'd ask. I don't want to be too insulting, but I mean.
You guys can ask for whatever you want to ask and then roll to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we really can do.
Yeah.
And also, again, depending on how you guys deliver your asks, will determine whether or not I apply any kind of penalties or benefits for the askee, or the asked. So, how do you ask for? How much gold do you want to ask for?
You always go a little bit higher and do the bargain, and then have a minimum you want to get.
Yeah, there's always room for back and forth.
Yep.
I mean, if we say 40 and she gives us 30, we're already at where we want to. But if she says 25, then we need to still bargain to get as close as possible.
Hmm.
I think maybe we start at 40 instead of 42 or anything. I think 40 is reasonable.
Yep. Trying to think of a way to deliver its value, like why we should be asking for 40. I almost want to put it. I almost want to have since it's a piece of fashion, have Grub put it on his eye. He's like, you see this handsome piece of eyewear?
Go ahead.
Unless you want to say it for you or something, but I'm gonna come up with a terrible excuse.
Okay. So Grub, he kind of looks at the eye patch. He smiles a little bit. He picks it up and he puts it on his on his face. He kind of once again gives a nice little sunny grin with it. He was like, we've also found this in the same place as the the house of the Lord and Lady. We believe this was the Lord's possession, and I think it makes a handsome statement. How do we feel about 40 gold for it?
She's she has this distant, almost dreamy kind of expression as she smiles warmly, and she's just hanging on every word, and she goes, that does sound lovely. Go ahead and roll your persuasion with advantage. You do have a floating d4
Can I
from
insult this
Samo.
woman?
You most certainly may, and you also have a bless on yours, Taryn.
Do you want me to go ahead and just add that D4 to it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, that was a 2,
Okay.
so 19.
Okay.
Nah, that'd be 4.
So while Taryn is kind of eyeing this lady, trying to get a read on her, she's pulling out 4 stacks of 10 gold and pushes it across the counter towards you. And she nods and she's like, yeah, that sounds like a wonderful deal. And she takes the eye patch and kind of looks at it appraisingly. This dreamy, distant expression on her face. Taryn? To borrow an adage from my father, her oatmeal ain't done. There's something a little left to center of this woman.
The lights are on, but no one's home. The engine's running, but no one's behind the wheel.
No, there's somebody behind the wheel, but they might be drunk behind the wheel and passed out.
Fuck.
Damn.
I think that's it for that page of notes.
I'm gonna nudge Wilhelmina slightly, and I'm gonna like beckon her down to my height. There's something
Yes.
wrong. There's something wrong with this one. I
Okay,
don't
so,
think it's gonna be hard to sell her anything.
so the
I mean, well, better that we tried just in case. You never know. Someone that's a little more daft sometimes is smarter than you think.
No.
So the treasure box, the jewelry box, it would be the next. As far as your passive appraisals would go, it's the next thing on your list of things to sell that you feel would be like the next most valuable thing. Go ahead and roll me your appraisals.
All right. Oof.
You do have inspirations.
Oh, I do. That's true. You know what? I'm gonna use one inspiration on that.
All right.
Oh, that was better. Oh yeah, I have bless on that. Don't. What?
No, you
Can I use
don't.
bless on that?
You don't
Oh,
have
okay.
one. You were the only one that was left alone.
I was loved just a little bit.
But you think you think it's probably worth at least 50, 55 gold?
50, 55?
Yeah, somewhere about there. I mean, it's a
That's-
really nice silver jewelry box with gold filigree.
Yeah, that would make sense why that's more expensive, especially with this much silver. Oof. Oof. Wait. Silver. Well, I mean, it kind of looks at Crump. Wouldn't this be better to take to a blacksmith?
Are we asking to melt down the silver?
Well, considering everything that's happened, I'm pretty sure silver's a little bit more needed.
Yeah, that
Even
would be unreasonable of a thought.
No.
I
Read
get-
it. I'm
you're
out of character. I'm like, wait.
like you're pretty sure by holding this thing, like it's not like massive, but silver is not a very light metal. Gold is, but silver can have a bit of heft. This thing, other than like, you know, the little like very light velvet cushion on the inside in the lining of the box, other than that, as far as just the straight metal goes, it's about 4 or 5 pounds of metal, mostly silver. So you're looking at probably about a solid 4.5 pounds of silver, with
Wow.
maybe a half a pound at the most of fine gold filigree all the way around it.
That's not a bad idea. We should take this to the blacksmith.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, with the ivory brush we sold, that's probably not enough silver, but this,
Oh, no.
this
Yeah, because that was like fine silver
fine
bristles.
silver, yeah. But this is still hefty.
Yeah, there's a bit of silver to that. So
Yeah, Wilhelmina's just like, even though we could get 50, 55 for this, I think taking this to a blacksmith would be a better idea.
yeah, I will say with that intelligence check, you're pretty certain that you could get a couple of pounds of quality silver melted out of this for various uses. So that said, the next thing on the docket is the platinum necklace with the topaz pendant. Go ahead and roll me your appraisal.
Intelligence. Alright.
All right. You're looking
Yeah!
at this thing. It is beautiful. It is pristine. You are willing. You would be willing to bet that silver box itself that this thing is worth at least 700 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Oh.
And that's being extra conservative. You're pretty sure it'll go for a bit more.
Trust me on this.
And
It's
that's
expensive.
and when I say worth that, I'm talking about like that selling it to a shop should net you about this much. If you were to buy it from a shop, it would cost you significantly more. Because naturally, that's the way shops make money. Buy low, sell high.
I'm assuming Wilhelmina shares that information, right?
Yeah, I mean, out of character, I rolled a nat 20.
Jesus.
You know
We're
what?
also trying to
Considering that it was a nat 20, that just straight up, this thing you should be it would not be unreasonable for you to be able to get 750 gold pieces out of it.
For sure, 750.
What does the shop look like overall? Like, does it look like it... Like, I know it's a general store, so it's probably not affluent looking, correct?
No, not really.
Yeah, Grub takes a look around. And he looks back at the group and he's like, do we think we should hold on to this for a better purpose later?
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea, considering how expensive it is.
As a really, really good bartering tool, or...
She looks at it and she goes, "It does look quite lovely. How much would you be wanting for it?"
Oh, well, we're still debating on that.
Well, perhaps I might point you to someone who can meet your request if I can't.
Oh?
And the entire time she has not sat, she's not stood perfectly still. She's got a slight sway, almost like she's listening to some faint music that no one else can hear.
Lord.
And just this docile, warm, dreamy smile on her face.
Can we see behind the counter?
Yeah.
Is there anything that looks like it might be doing something?
No.
Well, who would have an idea of who might be able to, give us what we need? Because I feel like this might be a little too expensive for you.
Oh, I mean, there's some people who might be able to trade you services in exchange for the value.
True.
Looking for information. If there's people you think could provide that.
Hard to get information.
I don't know. I don't know who might have... She kind of trails off, looks to the wall, as she kind of stands still for a moment. Hard to get information. And then she resumes swaying as her gaze turns back to you all. And the dreamy smile resumes.
Can I turn around and look at where she stared at the wall?
Certainly. You're looking at the wall. there's like a knot in the wood. Other than that, there's nothing really standing out.
Should we ask if she thinks there is someone who would know about one of our 4 clues?
The moment that you start kind of asking, but the moment that you drop Strahd's name, the dreamy smile is gone and there is a look of abject terror on her face, and she immediately claps her hands over her ears and she starts just muttering, no, 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 as she physically recoils from you and is now kind of backed against the wall away from the counter.
w-
Oops.
I don't want to go in the back of the counter, otherwise someone's gonna think I'm stealing.
She kind of sits there and she keeps shaking her head and she goes, if you're looking to fight the nightmares, I can't help you. I don't have anything that can help you here.
Rob gently puts his hands out. He's like, don't worry. You're okay.
If you're looking to fight the nightmares, Pearson Rowley, he might be able to help you.
Pearson. I'm gonna spell this wrong.
Pearson, sorry.
Oh, Pier.
Oh, that was the wrong page. I meant to do that as the DM. I clicked on the wrong chat box.
Oh, well. Oops.
At least it still showed up in the right spot.
Yes. Pearson Rowley. Alright, so that's who we need to go to potentially next. Who actually might have information we need.
And as she says his name, she points like right out the front door to like she points towards the front of her shop, but slightly left. And
So we go to the left.
And you realize that if the wall wasn't in the way, she would be pointing at the blacksmith shop.
Oh, where we were gonna go next anyway. Well, I mean, it just goes to the door, kind of looking to see where exactly she's pointing at.
And you, as you look out the door, you can hear the ringing of hammer on metal.
And she just does it for confirmation. You're talking about the blacksmith, correct?
And her hands, like, she's not like blocking you guys out completely. She just has her hands kind of cupping her ears, more like she's just bracing the sides of her head. And she just nods very, very sharply, very slightly, but her eyes are completely unfocused. And what's everybody's passive perception? Other than yours, Wilhelmina, because you're on the other side of the building.
I am a 10.
15.
I heard
11.
15. What was yours, Grub?
10.
Renal, you're the only one that notices that her eyes are so far out of focus that each of her pupils are dilated differently.
Did you see her eyes? Did you see her eyes? I'm whispering this sidelong.
Grub's a bit too busy focusing on trying to calm the lady down, like trying to bring her back.
You would quickly realize that about the only thing you guys can do now to get her to calm down is move along. Because she's muttering mostly incoherent gibberish, but it's occasionally sprinkled with the terror and the nightmare and the devil. But in between those little moments of clarity, it's just rapid fire gibberish of her just kind of whimpering and muttering to herself. As you guys effectively poked a button that didn't need to get poked.
First off, I knew there was something weird going on with her, and didn't notice the eyes, but I noticed they're swaying. Did you really have to mention the name?
Kind of just sheepishly shrugs. Like he, if you were to look at him and you were doing an insight check, he looks guilty. He feels bad.
Look, I know the name doesn't mean much to us, but you remember these people are afraid of he who must be not named.
Out of character, okay, Voldemort. Anyways, back to character.
I suppose we can't get any more from her, unfortunately. We should try the blacksmith. Because I've still got stuff out here we want to sell as well.
All right, so as you guys head over to the blacksmith shop, I don't want to move that. I accidentally started to move my. I'm going to set all these numbers onto the map layer so that I can't accidentally relocate them. Give me just a moment to take care of that. There we go. As we move over here to the blacksmith shop, as we enter in, you see, there's a couple of shopkeepers or little assistants, kind of polishing weapons, or loading up displays and whatnot. They're doing shopkeep stuff. But you can see inside this building, there's the show floor for selling stuff, but there's also a clear view to the forge and furnace and the anvil where the blacksmith is currently hammering out a piece of metal. He's definitely a very aged man. A very, very broad, large, powerful man. Very, very gray of beard and hair, top of which is starting to kind of wisp. When he you see him pause to put the length of metal back in the fire, wipe his brow, and spit into the straw on the ground. He as he turns his head in your direction, Renault in particular, with your keen perception, you can see that one of his eyes is fully clouded over, very clearly blind.
Right.
And the other eye is very strongly cataract. And you are reasonably certain that this man is fully blind in one eye and most of the way in the other. But with that information in hand, as you look around the shop, every last weapon is flawless. It's wonderfully crafted. Every blade is honed to a razor's edge. If you kind of go around and kind of test any of the heft of any of the weapons, every mace is just perfectly balanced. Every warhammer is perfectly weighted for maximum cleaving of skull. The rest of his armor is pretty all right, but I mean it's all relatively light armor. You notice at the barest of glances, he does not have any heavy armor in his shop.
He knows what his focuses are, and it's certainly to do with arms as opposed to armor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have the box once we have a little bit of a conversation with him.
Just don't mention the name.
But he looks at Grub.
One of the shopkeepers comes to intercept the party to ask. They approach. Welcome to Thimdall's Armaments. What might you be looking for?
Oh, we are are in the business of traveling around, and I think, as we are all aware how dangerous traveling this area can be, we found this interesting, you know, jewelry box made of silver, and we're wondering if it could be repurposed.
About that time, as you were asking that, you can see one of the burgomaster's heralds comes in to proclaim about the festival tonight. And as he does, as the door opens and you hear the herald clear his throat, you hear a deep, low rumble from the pit, from where the blacksmith is working. As he takes 2 steps, picks up a javelin out of a barrel and just hucks it at the door. It slams into the crossbeam above the door, right above the herald's head, as he bellows out, "I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times! I don't give a rat's ass about his festival!" And the herald kind of squeaks and whimpers and starts backing out. And he just kind of bristles for a moment, turns, spits into the straw, and then heads back over to work while one of the other shopkeepers very sheepishly comes over and wrenches the spear out of the door frame. And very, very quietly and very hushed whisper, the shopkeep that first addressed you kind of goes, Pearson is not overly fond of the Vargas, of the burgomaster. Not a fan of Vargas at all.
I like him.
Spicy.
I
And
just don't want to be hit
he's-
with a spear, thank you.
you can hear muttering and swearing as he's hammering out this length of steel. But to which the shopkeep goes, "Well, as to your question about reworking silver, you say? Huh.
Mm.
If anybody might be able to do it, Pearson probably could. I mean, but how? What do we?" And upon hearing that, you guys hear the sound of hot metal sizzling as he drops it into some water to stop the heating process and to keep it from potentially starting a fire.
Quench.
Yeah, no, he's not quenching it in oil though.
Ah.
He's like, "I'll deal with that later." All right. What pet project am I supposed to be looking at now? As he comes walking over, and you see him like he ducks underneath something, like a hanging bucket of like scrap nails and whatnot, and like he's moving around here almost as well as if he were a visioned person.
He's probably been part of this. Oh wait, yeah, he's probably been part of this forge so long that it's just like as long as no one moves anything, he knows exactly where it's at.
Yeah, that's the kind of effortless movement he has about him. As he comes over and sits there and like he doesn't ask you guys to hand it to him. He comes up and like you see him like as he walks up to you all, he takes a deep inhale through his nose and just reaches out and takes the box. He doesn't look at it. He literally sniffs the air and snatches it out of your hand as he kind of hefts it from one hand to the other, kind of opens it up, feels around. He goes, "Well, that would have to go." And you watch him run his thumb around the filigree. He goes, "Nice craftsmanship, but that's worthless." He kind of looks between you all, and his eyes eventually, without seeing you, settles on you, Renault. And he takes a deep inhale as he goes, "You've got a nice piece on you, don't you?" "Short sword."
It's the eyebrow of everyone goes up like.
I mean, it's just like he sniffs. He's a metal sniffer.
It's not a dwarf ability.
This man is human as fuck.
I know. That's the joke.
To which he kind of looks like somewhere in between Wilhelmina and Grub's faces, in between your heads.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys can tell, he cannot hardly see you. He just knows that you guys are roughly there-ish. As he goes, so what are we hoping to accomplish with this silver from this box?
Well, what do you think you can make with that amount?
Let me see. Let me look up some notes real quick because I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. The whole time, Grub has this like giant smile, like almost like he's met one of his heroes or something. Like he is loving this guy.
Okay, so he sits there. He goes, "All right, I think we might be able to make something happen." You have the raw material here. Pretty sure if we can get a little bit of flux and a little bit of oil from Anya, might be able to melt this down, convert it into some alchemical silver to infuse with some of my iron, create you a weapon. This much silver here. You see him kind of reach a paw out for a moment, reaches a big old ham fist out, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, like almost misses completely, Grub, but then catches your shoulder, and he kind of makes his way down to your bicep and gives a little squeeze, and he goes, "You like a big sword, don't you?"
I love my big swords.
All right, I think I can make a big sword for you.
Yeah. Oh. But before we agree with anything, does anyone else want anything to do with this silver? Like, would it be more effective for the party if we would break it down into smaller pieces so everyone has a piece of silver to use in combat or otherwise?
I cast magic. I don't need it.
I also have magic, but honestly, a
Like-
dagger would not be a bad thing for Wilhelmina if there's anything left over.
As it stands, with that box, you have enough silver to make a silvered greatsword.
I said leftover.
But that's using all of it.
Mhm.
That said, you could potentially make a silvered longsword and potentially a silvered dagger, at which point it is possible that, because I know a particular member of the party would love nothing more than to get their hands on a bladed whip. So you guys have the options here. I'm also double checking. And at that point, if you guys went that route, you could make a silvered longsword that you could still use for your great weapon fighting, because it's a versatile weapon.
Mhm.
It's just, it's a D10 instead of 2D6.
Mhm.
And then you guys could potentially get a silvered blade for a whip. Or potentially, get a silver imbued whip in general. And then the silver short sword could end up in Wilhelmina's hands, because bards are proficient.
Yes, they are.
So those are some of the options before you. So it is up to the party to decide what you guys wish to do with it. Because the silvered greatsword would give Grub a higher potential max damage and, more importantly, a higher average damage output. But the silvered longsword would enable 3 of you guys to have silver weapons in your possession.
Yeah, because I can also combo that damage with Divine Smite and
Yeah.
other wonderful damage bonuses. Yeah. Smite on smite on smite.
Yeah, you got flavors of spice to throw around.
Yeah.
I'm mostly magic, so everyone else can have the silver.
Yeah. I'm okay with doing it the third option, or the option where everyone gets a piece of silver to use.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are very valid options. It's really up to you guys.
Because Ren already has a silver short sword.
Yeah, I mean, it's not his ideal preferred fighting style, but it's still better than no silvered weapon at all.
I was about to say, because if we... Is it just putting a blade at the end of his whip?
Effectively, I mean, mechanically, sort of, but like a proper bladed whip, the bladed tip is kind of braided into the whip itself,
right? Yeah.
where basically the whip itself is effectively the pommel and handle of the dagger.
Right. Yeah, because...
And that will not work with the short sword. Short sword is too big and weighs too much.
So we can make a long sword, because if we do what we need to with the whip, then I could just take the short sword.
Yeah, that's why I said I double checked to make sure that you were proficient with short swords.
And then the only person that wouldn't have any silver is Taryn.
Yeah,
I don't need it. I got lightning.
Taryn doesn't need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm okay with doing the longsword silver, and that way, Renault can get the silver bladed whip.
All right. So let me double check prices on things. That would be that much. Okay. Okay, so the as you guys kind of sit down and talk with them about, your ideas and hopes of what you guys would like to see accomplished with this, he kind of nods thoughtfully as he goes, all right. Well, you have the silver here, so that would take care of part of the cost. Because otherwise I'd have to charge you for my own silver if I had any to spare. The weapons themselves, which my brain shut down. I gotta re-find my prices. All right, so we're getting longsword. Where'd you
10 gold.
15.
Is it 15? I thought it was 10. Oh.
Nope. 15. Short sword's 10.
Ah,
The whip itself, though, however, because he would need to make a fresh whip, design it for the dagger, with the dagger. He sits there. He goes, altogether, with all the materials that you'll need to go pick up, it'll end up costing you about 500 gold to get these 2 weapons made.
Oof. Oh, what? Well,
don't worry. I have some things I might be able to use for this. As I pull out 5 gems from my sack of gemstones, put them on the counter.
Melomina's just leaning down. I think he's. I wonder if he can sniff gems too.
Oh, sorry. These are gemstones worth roughly about 90 to 100 gold each.
I'm trying to find my notes for those so I can confirm.
Do not, I'll be nice. I'll plot down another one. There's 6.
Where did we find those? I can't remember.
I have 14 of them.
Why do you have so many gems?
I got no idea, but it says sack of gems 100 gold each, 14.
Oh, that's right. It was one of your guys' random loots that you guys were acquiring from one of the encounters.
Oh.
He kind of looks at him. He goes, "All right." He reaches down. He puts a finger, like you see him kind of tap his hand around, and as he finds 2 of the gemstones, and he puts a finger on 2 of them, slides them over to one of the shopkeepers, and jerks a finger at them, sharply, and the shopkeep kind of picks one up, looks at it, gives a nod, looks at the other one, gives a nod, and goes, "His assessment of their value is pretty accurate." To which he goes, "All right. You take these 3. Go get the oil and the flux from Anya." To which, the shopkeep nods, grabs the 3 gemstones, and looks to the party and holds them out as, to confirm that it's okay for him to take them to go get the other materials.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
To which he nods eagerly and goes running off, and he goes, "All right, that said," as his attendant runs off, "what do you guys know of Vargas?"
You really want to stick a spear in him?
If it were
Can
legal.
Can I do a quick history check, since I remembered Vargas was the son of the last person who ruled the town?
Certainly.
Okay. I will do that at normal. Holy shit.
Oh, the shit, indeed. All right. So yeah, you know that Vargas is a fucking problem. You know that his father was a terrible man, and that while Vargas is not as bad as his father was, he's still fucking awful. But he's very, very arrogant, very full of himself, very proud, very prideful, and is very quick to abuse his position of power and authority.
Okay. Grub would, he would just kind of, almost as he's relaying that information of what he could recall, he almost looks like he's speaking a little bit distantly as he's recalling that information, but as he's, near the end of, his information sharing, especially about how he's abusing his power, if he has any examples to provide of that, and, those moments, he becomes more like himself again, like he's more back in the moment as he's sharing that.
Pearson kind of sits there, nodding quietly. All right. That's all accurate. So where do you stand in regard to a man stylizing himself as lord of this land and mistreating those he's supposed to protect and care for? And he's not, naturally, because his vision is so bad, he's not looking at any one of you in particular, but his gaze is kind of shifting across the space that you guys are occupying, waiting for one of you to respond.
Kind of sigh a little bit, and he was like, from what I've seen here, I don't support his actions. And I think there is a better answer. However, given what is out there, and he makes a gesture what he would think would be like kind of the closest, wall separating, the town from the forest, he was like, any major upheavals, I think, could ruin the delicate balance of protection you have here.
That's a fair thought to have. And he kind of looks to the general area of the rest of the party.
To be fair, no matter who's in a position of power, there's always going to be a corruption of that power, regardless of who it is.
Perhaps, but not to this degree if a good person is in that position to begin with.
That at least stems the worst of it, at least for a time.
Because in the grand scheme of the thing, even a good man under that much power can be twisted.
So,
I'm not saying what he's doing is right, but at the same time, it could be anybody.
Oh.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Good.
Go back.
Good.
I can hear you.
Okay. Good. Good.
So the old man is asked the party what their thoughts and feelings on the current burgomaster might be, and Grub had recalled what he could of the burgomaster being this the child of a even worse tyrant, but as he grew into his own man, he was only marginally better. Kind of like how Charles Manson's only a little bit better than Adolf Hitler.
Hmm.
They're both monsters.
Every man can be a monster, and every monster is a man. Either way, don't trust politicians. It only encourages them.
I don't know what you're playing with there, Offler, but it is the microphone's picking it up.
There you go. I'll put it down.
Yeah, he would kind of nod somberly. Suffice to say, it sounds like you're no fan of his.
No.
All right then. And he reaches over to the sixth and final gemstone and slides it over with the other two that he was initially going to keep as payment. So he goes, "Then I will do right by you." It'll take me some time to make this, but leave the box when my boy's back with what I need for alchematizing the silver. I will immediately get to work on your weapons.
That is very much appreciated.
All right. So, that said, we have still a large portion of the day ahead of you. What other stores might you guys wish to go visit, if any?
Well, I mean, we still have the apothecary and Jenny the herbalist. I only remember because the name and herbalist did not feel like they went together. What are the other stores? We went to the general store. We're at the blacksmith.
You've got the apothecary. You have a bookshop. You have the Fletcher Boyer, but he's over at the Vistani camp, so he would take a little bit more time to get to. The herbalist and the tailor shop.
I could go make the rug into a cape. That's how look at Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina just takes a deep, deep breath. It would be easier to sell it, potentially. But, we could see what the apothecary has. Bookstore might not be a bad idea to go to either. The herbalist might be cheaper than the apothecary. That's another thing to consider.
The herbalist might be like if you were going to just get materials for making potions yourself. Most likely, there's not going to be much of actual potions and consumables there.
So we could go to the apothecary, see how much it is, see how much we can get it if we bring materials, see if the herbalist has them, and then come back. Good.
So where are we going first?
I mean, I'm between the bookstore and the apothecary, because I don't think we need to go to the tailor just yet.
Yeah. Apothecary?
Okay.
Lead on.
So to the apothecary we go as we head over there. As we arrive, there's this tiny little shop pushed off to the edge of town. As you enter into the shop, Wilhelmina, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 12.
12. Okay, so, Renault, you're the only one that notices that immediately when you walk in that this woman, unlike every other person in this town other than, Grub, is not fully human.
No?
Her skin tone is a little darker than most here, and her ears come to slight points. She is half Vistani. She's a half Dusk Elf.
I think it'd be rude to point out her stairs, so I would probably just nod in
But,
greeting.
Yeah, she, upon seeing you all come in, she, kind of gazes upon all of you. You can easily tell that she's assessing you all. And she is watching for any and all potential scrutinies that you as a party may have towards her. Like, she's not hiding that she's a half-elf. And after a brief moment of quiet observation, she goes, "Welcome to the Third Eye Potions and Sundries. I am Anya. What might I be able to brew up for you?" And as you look about, there's several display cases that have, vials on display, but also along the back wall of this little shop, there you see several little alchemical stations with little burners burning away and liquids bubbling, and just she's working. I would like Wilhelmina, because I don't think anybody has actual alchemy supplies proficiencies. Do you? Does anyone?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I had to ask. Wilhelmina, go ahead and roll me. You know what? I will let you roll Arcana for this.
Whoa,
I have
Just
brewer's
because-
supplies.
You have what?
Brewer supplies, if that helps.
Uh,
Roll Arcana.
I guess you could roll your brewer supplies too, and we'll see what kind of information you might get out of it.
What's that we're looking at?
Intelligence.
Because you never know.
And
It's been a while.
she cooking something.
That wasn't that one, folks.
Oh no.
You're pretty sure she's cooking something. Could be meth.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, you know that she has currently got 3 individual concoctions. You're not certain what, just because you haven't gotten close enough to inspect them. But I will retain that check for later if you do happen to get close enough to observe what's being made back there. But you can tell that she has a very good operation going as far as producing. But She has a very, very wide array of potions, effectively kind of scattered about the the room.
I can tell you there's at least 3 potion types being made right now. Couldn't tell you what, though. Actually, Wilhelmina is going to get a little bit closer. Now she is being the sniff test.
Yeah, as you get closer, Anya gives you a little bit of a side eye, and she goes, "Do not touch. You may look, but do not touch."
You see Wilhelmina put her hands up as her hands go behind her back. As she just kind of like leans forward. Not enough for her hair to go in, but
you can tell by looking at, the different things that are kind of bubbling away inside the different things. It's a very straightforward batch. She's making 3 potions of healing.
she's making 3 oh, okay, so she's making 3 of them.
Yeah. And as you look around, you can tell that, that is kind of, what she has the most in stock is potions of healing of different degrees. Naturally, the single largest quantity is the standard potion of healing. Or, well, actually, yeah, the most, she's got at least 10 potions of healing. She has 5 lesser potions of healing, which is a d4 plus 4. Instead of 2d4 plus 8. But then she's also got 3 greater, which is 4d4 plus 16. And a single superior. But then she's also got a whole bunch of other potions. Just kind of hanging around.
She's got a decent supply.
Oh, yeah.
Decent supply. Now, I mean, she's gonna relay this to the group. It looks like they're all healing like most of them are healing potions.
I would like for you.
Again?
Let's see. Wilhelmina, roll me a D100. Renault, roll me a D10.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
That's not nice. Damn it.
All right. Grub, I would like for you to roll me a D100.
Ooh.
You were even further from nice.
Yeah.
Kidding, Chelsea, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
I don't like when I hear that's neat.
Okay. So there's a potion that that's like in its own separate display. Like it's got like on this interesting little pedestal that looks like a pair of eagle's talons reaching up, and just the tips of the claws are touching the glass bulb of this vial holding this interestingly pearlescent liquid.
Well, that's shiny.
Do we want me to try to see what's in there? Or at least try to figure out what it could be?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana. See what
Alright.
kind of mystical energies you might be able to glean from it. I will say with that, you are pretty sure that it is a transmutation potion of some kind. It has transmutation magic deeply ingrained into it.
You know what? Wilhelmina's just gonna ask. Could you perhaps tell me a little bit more about this one? I can glean that it potentially comes from the transmutation school, but I can't glean more than that.
She looks at it and looks to you, and a very small smile plays across her face as she goes, It is a transformative potion, an elixir that... And she kind of touches her lips slightly. Brings out the true you. It turns you into what you really could be. For good or for ill, whatever is in your heart will determine what exactly this potion does to you. She kind of looks at the potion and she goes, For example, I would never let the burgomaster drink that potion. And then she looks to the party, because he would kill us all.
I mean, it's just like... You could tell she has the curious she wants to ask, but no, she shouldn't. Look on her face.
At least I believe that's what would happen. I've never consumed it before, but it was a experimental elixir. But as she reaches out and dances her fingernails in a little rhythm across the glass, and you see the pearlescent liquid just kind of swirl in response, it's stable. It's perfect.
How much?
1,000 gold.
Ooh.
How often do these normally sell for? How often do they sell? Not how much do they sell for,
She gives
but
a
how often do they sell?
she gives a smile and she goes, It's the first one I've ever made.
Oh.
And she's looking at it, not you all.
But considering it's an experimental elixir, it has not been tested.
That's why it's only 1,000.
Uh-huh.
If I knew for certain exactly what it would do, considering how much work went into developing it, learning the recipe, and crafting it, I would normally be charging 10.
Oh.
Well, I've got some gemstones here, which might be worth your while. I've got 8 of them. They're about 150 gold each. Roughly.
She kind of side-eyes you and gestures to the table. There's a small table in the near the middle of the room, and she kneels down by it as you approach.
As I plunk down the last 8 of those gems, which 150 was bullshit, by the way, as you know.
Oh yeah, and she's going to appraise them.
Oh shit.
I think we're gonna be...
We need to make some persuasion checks.
That's what I'm thinking.
She kind of sits there and... And she kind of looks at them and gives a little bit of a smirk and looks up at you and she goes, shoot, one sec, my brain shut down. I'm trying to remember her name. And she kind of smirks and she goes, well, if I was Bethel, I would have taken that yarn hook, line, and sinker. And she kind of gestures to all of them and she goes, altogether, you're looking at probably no more than 700 gold pieces of value.
Hold on. They're worth 8. Yes,
That
I
one's-
did try my luck.
She goes, that one's 100. That one's 80. That one is 70. That one is 110. Do I need to go on?
Well, how about perhaps are there things we could do to aid in this cost?
Oh,
For
no,
you?
no. I've got more stuff. As I pull out a bag of cheap jewelry. 6 pieces of cheap jewelry, which I shall pull out. Alright. Yeah, I'll just dump them all. 6 of them sitting on the table. These should be worth about 20 gold each. And I'm not lying this time.
She kind of looks them over.
Which they are, as from what you told me, they are worth 25 gold each, so I'm underselling.
Technically, you aren't lying.
She
I'm
says,
not lying, yeah.
she sits there and she goes, we're getting closer. Above game, you still have that pendant.
I mean, do we want to drop the pendant for this potion?
I mean, we can technically show her just to see what she's gonna appraise it at.
Yeah. After,
Do I have it, or is that someone else?
that's Grubs.
Ah.
After Taryn pulls out the cheap jewelry and she doesn't seem to be inclined to it, Grub kind of just sighs a little bit. He pulls out the topaz pendant. He was like, is this something
She kind of
that catches your eye?
slowly looks over to you and her eyes kind of go wide for a moment. She goes, bring that over here. We will be in business. And you see her kind of gesture and do Wilhelmina might recognize this cantrip. Taryn may or may not. I don't know if Taryn has Mage Hand, but she casts Mage Hand and you see her box of healing potions comes floating over. And to
Oh,
which
mage hand,
she
potentially.
puts a hand on top of the box and she goes, what would you say to that? She points to the necklace that Grub has. These, and gestures to the gemstones and the jewelry. For that, and she points to the pearlescent elixir, and however many of these you desire to make up the difference.
Pendant.
Because what it would, you guys would have 570 gold pieces left over. At which point you guys would be able to get yourselves like maybe 2 greater healing potions and probably 3 regular healing potions and maybe a pair of lesser if you wanted to just zero out. So it'd be 2 greater, 3 normal, 2 lesser, and the transformative elixir.
Holy shit.
I'm
That's
okay
one
with
kind of pendant.
To be fair, I'm just doing this on a whim. I'm not even sure we need this transformative elixir. I'm just curious what it's going to do.
I'm also curious as well.
Me too. And we're getting extra potions with it.
Yeah.
If we do the pendant.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with this.
All right then. Keep
Um,
jewelry's going.
Yeah, I'm fine getting it.
Okay, so we have the transformative elixir, which I've got in quotes. Potion of greater healing plus 2 times 2. Potion of healing plus 3 times 3. And potion of lesser healing times 2. And so, just as a reminder, much like Baldur's Gate 3, you can drink a potion as a bonus action and roll the hit points, or if you drink it as but house rule, if you drink it as a standard action, you get maximum healing.
Okay.
Basically, the potions of lesser healing, because they are so much less healing, are only 10 gold pieces each. And that's why you guys got 2 of them, because the 2 graders were 200 each. So that would leave you 170 left over. The 3 regular potions of healing were 50 gold each, which left you 20 left over, which was the 2 lesser healing potions. So with that, other than that damn rug, you guys have, I do believe, gotten rid of all of your surplus treasure. And now you guys just got to wait for your boy to finish making your toys.
Question is, who wants the elixir?
She gives, as she hands the elixir over, she gives a disclaimer of, be careful where you drink it. Be careful who, as she looks amongst you all, you have drink it. Because whatever lies here, as she touches each of you, taps or point. She doesn't touch you, but points at each of your chests in turn. Will determine what you become. So, above game, without spoiling exactly what happens, it's going to be something different for each of you.
Shiny.
In character, that's not, terrifying at all.
I'm willing to try. I love it. Chaos. Or do you think this is an oh shit button?
I feel like it's both.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, can I get one more D100 roll?
From who?
Let's have Renault do it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, neat. Thank you.
Okay.
Put it on the rug, we might get a unicorn.
Rubbed out. So apparently, because of the random dice rolls that you guys have rolled, after you step outside and you uncork it to kind of give it a sniff test or something, and if you happen to do like the one drop on the tongue taste test to try to see if you can figure out a little bit more about it,
Damn right I would.
it smells like a brothel, and it
Oh,
tastes like a
Lord.
color. You're not sure what
wait.
color.
Does it taste like ume, which is the color purple?
No, it tastes like puce.
And to Renault, it tastes like plaid. What? No, literally, according to this table, it tastes like a color. And I decided I'm going to take that at face value. It literally tastes like a color, and none of you guys can agree on it.
Oh.
It tastes like I wanna reflect on my life choices and figure out where things went wrong. Because I don't even know anymore.
Wait, what did I miss?
When
I'm gonna wait outside on the steps. I'll be back.
as you guys had stepped outside, you guys did the sniff test and the one drop of the elixir on the tongue test to see if you could get a better idea of what it might do. And you guys couldn't quite. Magic is too complex for the taste test to give you any idea of exactly what it'll do. But because of the rolls on the random table, it smells like a brothel, but tastes like a color. So it smells like cheap perfume, an abundance of it, sex, and sweat.
Oh.
Eh,
Oh.
Ew.
But
That's nasty.
it literally tastes like a color.
Ugh.
And none of you guys can agree on which color.
Huh. This smells
Purple.
like Northern Night.
I literally thought of purple too, though.
Yeah. Did everything just start taste purple for a second there? But yes. So you guys have a bunch of potions at your disposal now.
It's probably got to be the second worst decision we've made so far.
Oh.
Rug.
This seems far more useful than a rug
Yep.
that can be walked on.
Hey, leave my
Slept on.
rug alone. If I find a use for this thing, you're gonna be fucking spitting.
Until it acts like a magic carpet, it's a useless rug.
What does it look like again?
It is a 10-foot square carpet with a beautiful unicorn embroidered on it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm. You say a beautiful unicorn, but my head's just like, are we sure it's not like the Lisa Frank unicorns on like old school stuff?
Oh my god.
That's amazing. So,
Sorry, that's where my head's going.
it's fucking funny. So, all right. So, as you guys finish up your shopping there, like there were some other potions, but like none of the other ones were really going to be in your price range. Because like there was like an elixir of giant strength, but like that one was way out of the price point. Especially considering,
Yeah.
giants' toenails are very, very, very uncommon to find. As in almost impossible to find. So supply and demand, that one's definitely elevated in price.
Oh, she probably ended up getting that also from the Vistani, just because that's hard to get. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Possibly. But let's see. So you have the bookshop as a potential place to go. The herbalist, the tailor shop, and those are the last three for inside the town. If you were to go from one side of the shop to the other, the bookshop or the tailor would be the next most convenient shop to visit.
Yeah, I think we could go see what the books have in stock. At least that's what I think.
Does anybody argue with the assessment?
Can
I'm
I
cool
argue?
with that.
Lead on. I've got no more money to spend anyway.
At least until you're ready to
Well-
trade the rug.
The rug stays.
Oh no, it don't.
Oh yes, it bloody does.
No, it don't.
The hell?
I'll fight
That
you tooth
rug
and nail for
will
this
be
bloody
gone
rug.
at some point.
I'm actually interested in seeing him keep the rug until somebody like charges a premium for it. Like if somebody really wants it for some reason.
The second someone wants it for like 2,500 gold, you know it's gonna be gone.
I mean, like if it's that, sure, but
Look, it
I mean-
could be a magic carpet for all we know. We just haven't found the right words yet.
Yeah, nobody has detect magic, do they?
no. But this hardly seems like the
I
kind of
do.
land where you would find a. This hardly seems like the kind of land where you would find a rug with a unicorn of all things, dark and dreary, and in a low voice he says, "Werewolves and vampires, and hags and witches."
Stand what?
So as you guys enter into the bookshop, which the sign hanging over it says Janavik and Sons. You enter in and there's you realize that it's not necessarily like a library, so it doesn't have like a huge variety of literature available. You realize upon entering in they've got a printing press that they use to copy books for more production, as well as they're also bookbinders. And as you come in, there's like a plethora of parchment, calligrapher's tools, empty journals, and other such, on the shelves for purchase. And as you come in, you realize that these guys are also solely responsible for printing the posters for the Burgomaster's weekly festivals. And there's stacks of flyers from various events, just kind of all about the shop.
Well, we don't want to say anything bad about the Burgomeister potentially.
Well, I'm gonna go wander into the shop. Is there like bookshelves with like just books on them?
There's some.
I'm gonna play around and see if I can find anything to do with like house sigils.
House sigils?
Yes.
I'm not sure what...
I'm specifically looking for unicorns.
Oh, like
Oh,
looking for coat of arms and whatnot. Okay.
Yes.
I am tracking now. No, you don't. Go ahead and roll me an investigation. I don't even know if there's even a book for that here. You don't really find anything, huh?
It's going to be my goal to try and find a use for this fucking rug.
You don't really find anything that has any like information about any house coat of arms and whatnot. You do find a book on superstitions, the way it's presented is as though superstition, because the only faiths that are embraced here in Barovia, other than worshipping Strahd as the devil he is worshipping the Morning Lord or Mother Night, the Raven Queen. And other than the Morning Lord and Mother Night, there's really little to no knowledge of other deities in this land, so it talks about different deities through the lens of myth, through the lens of storytelling, fairy tales. I gotta look up this god. Oh, I think I think it was Miliki. Yes. Yes. You read about a deity known as Miliki, and her symbol, coincidentally,
It's a unicorn.
is a unicorn.
How do you spell that?
Mielikki.
Maliki. Goddess. Yes.
Yes. If you share that tidbit, that name out loud, I will allow anyone to roll religion, including yourself.
Okay.
I will definitely be like, look, could be, someone connected to Miliki. As I show the book to Wilhelmina or whoever's listening to my rambling.
I mean, I'm listening.
So,
Rolling your eyes, but listening.
Yeah.
roll a religion.
Me?
Can I burn an inspiration on that one?
Go right on ahead, and
God damn it.
wasn't that your second inspiration?
It's only the first one I've burnt today.
No, I used one.
That's right.
So, no, it doesn't get any better than a 13.
Right. So, Wilhelmina, if as you hear the name, do you want to roll a religion?
Yeah, I mean, she's not the best at it, but you know what? She
I
may
think
as
you
well
might be
try.
the best in the party at it.
2?
Damn.
Same as everyone else's.
Alright, well, I mean, she'll try.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You know the barest of information about her. You just know that she's a goddess of nature, and she must be a good goddess if her symbol is, a unicorn's head.
Which is technically fair. That's all I got.
I mean, you could arrive from one of our temples or something, so it might be a holy artifact, maybe.
Doesn't sound like a temple of that nature would last here very long with the way things are going.
I mean, it doesn't matter how dark and dismal a place is, there's always nature. Hell, there's wolves.
They seem to be corrupted by Strahd. And he kind of whispers Strahd after the last time.
That is fair.
Yeah. So, while you guys are kind of looking at some of the books, go ahead. Whoever wishes to roll investigation may attempt so, and I think it might possibly be best in either. I don't know. I don't know what Renault's investigation looks like.
Not great.
Okay, so I think then in this situation it might be best for Wilhelmina.
may as well try.
Go ahead and do it at advantage.
Holy shit.
As you
All right.
guys are collectively kind of working together. You know what? Because you guys are all four, I'm going to assume that Renault's kind of pulling down some books and sifting through as well, as it's going to be a big group effort of sifting through stuff. Go ahead and roll investigation twice with advantage.
One. Oh god. Oh.
Yahtzee. Through the concentrated effort of the whole party actively working together, sifting over some of the tomes and asking the sons, on where to look some stuff up. You guys were just kind of looking for literally anything that might be interesting, might have some value. Let me find. You learn of the Fanes of Barovia.
Banes?
You learn that there was you find this old tome like buried underneath piles of books. Like it's dusty, and you guys are almost scared to turn the pages. It's so delicate. It's so aged. That apparently, long before Strahd came and civilized the valley, Barovia was once a wildland. It was largely populated by small, scattered familial villages, no larger than a couple dozen people living in 3 or 4 houses to a village. There was, some druids that lived in these lands, and these barbaric people in the villages, and the land was separated more or less into 3 fanes, 3 environments: the swamp fane, the forest fane, and the mountain fane. While it's not the exact definition of a fane, but for the sake of this history, it was the way that they described them. In these fanes, there were 3 deities, for lack of better terms, that the people of the land worshipped. They were known as the Weaver of the Swamp, the Huntress of the Mountain, and the Seeker of the Forest. And as you're reading through, you learn that the devil came, and in his pursuit of power, after conquering most of the land, the druids, seeking supplication, seeking protection, tried to share information with Strahd to garner his favor, and in turn showed him to these ancient holy shrines to their deities, the Ladies 3. And Strahd realized there was great power attached to these shrines, and so he corrupted them. He blasphemed and tainted these shrines, claiming the power they provided for himself. As you read that the 3 most prominent shrines, there's several other smaller shrines, but the important ones were the 3 primary shrines. And you learn that these shrines were located inside large stone circles. That sounds vaguely familiar.
We were just there?
Yep.
And I blew up their house.
If I remember correctly, it was located near a place where the windmill caught up.
Caught on fire, you say?
Quote unquote.
You read on that, like, as you're kind of going through it, you can't find the information about where these primary shrines are, but you do learn as you're reading through that there is each of the shrines, now profane, need to be reconsecrated, but each one has different requirements. But unfortunately, this book does not have any of those details.
It sounds like if we go out of our way to reconsecrate these things, it might do some damage. In a good way.
For once, I believe you are correct.
What do you mean for once?
She's just trying to instigate a little bit.
I mean, we know where one is.
Yep, we do know where one is. That is for sure.
We could go and see if we can, do anything with it.
Yeah.
It's an option to add to the list.
Well, if we do that, that might end up helping us with the rest of our list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't hold a grudge about it.
So,
I hope they don't hold a grudge. Oof.
so there's not much else that you guys will be able to acquire at the bookshop,
Okay.
unless you guys needed, writing materials and whatnot. So, do you guys wish to go to the tailor?
Yeah, may as well see what's going over there.
All right. So, as you approach, the sign up front reads, "The Beast's Rose."
That's an interesting name.
I think I've read a play similar to that before. Or
So-
at least watched one.
No. So as you guys go in, you come in and you can see this monolith of a man, this monster of a man, this though when you look at him, he is visibly human. Except that he stands nearly 7 feet tall and has some hefty bulk to him. He's also got one of those resting caveman faces that makes him look pretty darn scary. And as you guys enter, you may still be a little intimidated by him, but the off-putting part is he's sitting down with the needle and thread, working on something that you can't really tell right away on a quick glance. As he's seated in a chair with his back kind of towards a corner of the main showroom, if you will, where there are some garments folded up on shelves and just sheets of cloth to pick from. Most of the cloth is very earth toned, very neutral, but you can see behind like the sales counter there are some bolts of fancier cloth that have been actually dyed pretty colors. They're still fairly earthy toned, so like there's no like pastel pinks or anything, but there's like a nice earthy maroon, a rich burgundy, stuff like that. So while he's sewing, he seems to be blissfully unaware of you all entering.
I think gauging that his back is kind of towards us, or at least not, he's not, his face isn't.
He's facing you guys. He's just looking down and working. He's very focused on his work.
Okay, but since it looks like he's not making direct contact and hasn't greeted anything, Grub would just kind of just gently knock on like the door frame with his like knuckle.
And as you do that, you see his brow lift, but he doesn't lift his gaze yet. It's a very slow, deliberate motion as he's continuing to sew, and pauses and slowly raises his gaze. At that same time, you see this very short, very petite, and almost heartbreakingly beautiful young woman kind of pop around a corner.
Oh my.
And she comes out around the corner and real quickly gives a bow in greeting. You know, good day. I'm welcome to the Beast's Rose. I'm Lottie. And she gestures to the man. This is my husband, Gilly. And he kind of raises 3 fingers on his hand that's holding the needle in a very, very, very small gesture of greeting, and then goes back to sewing.
Grub just kind of smiles and he was like, "Hello, I'm Grub. These are our friends."
I'm Wilhelmina. Hello.
She's very bright. You can tell that she's very hesitant in her approach, as she literally carries a air of shyness right there on her sleeve, but she's trying as she's greets you all in turn. And shoot, my brain shut down for just a moment. She looks to each of you as you introduce yourselves and gives a targeted compliment. As she looking at Grub when Grub introduces himself, she goes, she comments about, the shade of color of your eyes, reminding her of the depths of Lake Zarovik during the rare instances of daylight. And she compliments Taryn for the volume of her hair. Speaking with a air of envy. She compliments Wilhelmina for the color, the rich, almost like mahogany hue.
Mahogany.
And then when Renault is introduced, she compliments the thick texture, the of his hair. And she kind of like toes the ground. She goes, I was always told that it helps people to warm up to you when you give them a compliment and make it something real and tangible. And she's fidgets a little bit, and there's a very soft smile on Gilly's face as he's kind of side eyes Lottie and continues sewing.
Ain't you a man that
thank you.
appreciates you like Lottie's husband?
Grub smiles warmly and he feels like that is very much appreciated. You're doing good.
To which she gives a little quick clap and she goes, "So, welcome to our shop. What is there anything in particular you may be looking for?"
We were kind of just looking at, just what kind of wares that you have here.
Oh, and she gestures very grandly, which is kind of adorable considering she's like 5'0" nothing. As she gestures to the room as a whole, she goes, "Everything you see in here, Gilly made with his own 2 hands." And this man, this monstrous man, goes a little red at the cheeks.
Oh.
And if any of you pull off anything from any of the shelves to kind of look at them, the craftsmanship is top notch. They are impeccably well sewn. The seams are all well hidden. No overly obvious seam work. Everything just kind of flows. Like most of it is dresses. There's some slacks here and there, but like almost everything that you'll find in here are dresses, robes, riding cloaks, stuff like that. Very nice shirts. And you realize that this big beast of a man, he likes pretty things.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
And he likes making pretty things.
You do you, boo. You do you.
So, go silly question. Do you like unicorns?
You say that and his eyes kind of brighten a little bit.
Oh, man.
Do I?
Ooh. Well, just recently I've got my hands on a rather fabulous rug, which I'm trying to find more information about. As I pull it off my back and slowly unroll it in front of him.
He kind of carefully sets whatever he was working on down, and kind of takes to a knee because he's fucking 7 foot tall, and he takes a knee so he can get down to where he can get a better look at the rug. And when you lay it down, he runs a hand across it, takes it the corner of it between his fingers, kind of rubs, feeling the texture, just feeling across it, like checking for any potential blemishes, loose thread. And his brow, if it wasn't for the soft smile to his wife and the blush earlier, the serious look of concentration as he's examining this thing would almost be slightly off-putting, if not moderately horrifying, because he's just got a very aggressive-looking face. But you can tell that he's just concentrating, making sure that he doesn't miss anything.
Mhm.
So he goes, "This is very well made."
I know, right? That's why I'm trying to find more information about it. It's not often you see unicorns in this place.
No, not at all. I've never seen this work before, or anyone who makes this.
Oh, that's a
It's not a
shame.
local craftsman, that's for sure.
Oh well, it was worth a try. Just trying to find information on it. To see if it's something more than it seems.
He kind of sits there and he scrutinizes it for a bit. He goes, "I think it's just a really well-made rug, but I couldn't tell you if there's anything unnatural about it."
Oh well, it was worth a try. Thank you anyway. Let's just start gently rolling it back up.
I would say, while you guys were kind of all looking at it, well, Amina, would you like to roll an Arcana?
Whoa, Anna. I'll do it. I got this. Just a straight roll, right?
Yeah.
You tried though with the rug. You tried.
Yeah. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
You can't get anything, but you're also not sure if you can't get anything because there's nothing there, or you can't get anything because your senses aren't attuned enough. You're just not sure.
I really wanted to. I do have detect magic.
Oh, why haven't you done that yet?
Because it's been fun rolling the Arcana, because I don't get to do it much.
Fair.
I can just imagine your character's just stubbornly not wanting to admit there might be something about this rug.
Well, it might be like this rug. It might just be this place in general. I am gonna spend the 10 minutes to ritual cast.
Yeah, I mean, you
Well,
can do that while
yeah, while
Well,
they're
people-
talking.
while people are looking at stuff. Like, there's beautiful dresses, like there's gowns, there's even like night clothes, nightgowns and stuff. Like, this guy has made everything, and even the most masculine things he has made here are still kind of pretty. But as you know, Lottie and Gilly kind of talk with you guys about, you know, the different things. He sheepishly admits that Lottie is a lot of the inspiration for all of his favorite pieces in the in the shop.
Aw.
And you realize that most, all right, maybe not most, but a lot of the outfits she could, even if they didn't fit her properly, she could probably, without any effort, pull off. You can tell by like the style of everything else in the shop and what she's wearing that he also made that dress for her too.
I have to step away to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right.
Sorry.
But as you finish casting your detect magic, can't remember you've got the cloak of protection, right, Wilhelmina?
Correct.
So you can you can detect the magic on your cloak when you turn on your magic eyes. But I don't. Does anybody else have any magic items that they know is magic on them?
No.
I don't think. I don't think any of you guys.
Besides the
Do ya?
unmovable rod.
Oh yeah, that would give off magic. I do believe.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
That better be magic, because that's kind of scary if it's not.
That would be very scary if it's not. This is a science-based one. That's even worse.
Yeah. It's got magic. Yeah, I just don't remember what school of magic it would emanate, but probably transmutation. Anyways, maybe I don't know. Yeah. So, other than the cape on your back, the immovable rod in Grub's pack, and the different potions that you guys have, you don't detect anything else magical inside this building,
Including the rug.
including the rug. There's not a wisp of magic coming off of that rug.
Well, rug's still not magical.
Not with that attitude.
Do you want me to try to make it magical? I could try. Can't guarantee anything.
I mean, it could be a hidden magical item. You never know. Your spell could be wrong.
You just see Wilhelmina look at Taryn.
Alright, I need to look up that rug that chokes people.
The rug is smothering. Yeah, I was kind of I was hoping it wasn't one of those, and it was biding its time.
You just see her come really, really close. She takes her palm and just like pushes down on the top of Taryn's head a little bit and just starts like rubbing her hand like, you little jerk.
Tussles your hair. Oh, that's so funny.
I'll find a use for it. Don't you worry.
Grub's just
Find it
thinking, oh
weird
my...
that
I was gonna say, Grub's just thinking, he's like, oh my god, she's gonna turn into a cursed rug given the chance.
Well, considering the fact it's immaculate. And Barovia. I'll find a use for it. There's going to be something. Something it's for. If not, I'll make use of it myself. I already have a few ideas.
I would love to see your ideas. I really would.
In fact, everyone's gone silent now.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for something.
Oh no. He's looking for rugs.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Well, bye, Michael.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Seems like a well-trodden subject.
It's like, I'll go to sleep on this rug tonight.
I will
It'll smother
remember
me.
you.
Do-do-do-do-do. Will you remember?
So, All right, I think I got an idea. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I lost it. So. Wait, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Shit. What is that item? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not going to give you that.
Aw.
Grade.
No, I saw an item. I was like, hey, maybe that. Because I don't recognize what that item is. And then I read what that item was. And I was like, no.
But what was the item?
No. I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I mean, you're not giving
Alright.
it to us, so
No,
Yeah.
you don't get to know. It's irrelevant.
damn.
It's an elephant?
Ah!
It's irrelevant.
Oh, I hate you, Michael.
But I'm dumped.
I'm going down to the ninth circle of hell, and I know it.
Just rake up all those points for a high score?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, if we're already going to hell, why not?
fair. It's a little frustrating because, like, trying to find some cool items that they might have there that might be worth trading for the necklace. Or not necklace, for the blanket, for the rug. Why did I say necklace? I think I read the word necklace somewhere and my brain instantly autofilled. All right, so Gilly kind of sits there, goes, like, he, like, while you guys were kind of like talking amongst yourselves about the rug, he was kind of whispering with Lottie, just kind of chatting back and forth. And he kind of clears his throat and he goes, perhaps we might be able to arrange a trade?
Trade what?
For the unicorn rug.
Oh.
He kind of scratches the back of his head. He goes, it is real pretty, and I think as he kind of turns and gestures towards a section of wall, he goes, I think it would look wonderful hung right there. And he kind of reaches over the counter and pulls out a small box, and he kind of opens the box and kind of, you hear clattering of metal objects inside the box for a moment as he sifts around. He pulls out a ring. He goes, perhaps I might interest you in trading this for your rug?
Are my magic eyes still working?
Yes, they are.
Squint.
The ring is giving off an aura of magic. Of abjuration magic.
Oh.
That ring
I
of
will.
protection.
No.
Oh.
I will relay this to the group.
So,
I will say I also don't have identify, so I
What does
wish
it
I
do?
did. Yeah, that's a question to ask. What does it do?
I'm not entirely certain. I do know that it does adjust as he kind of holds it up to one of his massive sausage fingers, because he's fucking huge, and it slips right on. And it fits. And then he takes it off and he slips it onto his wife's finger and it shrinks down and fits. But I do know
Okay.
that when I was once out on a journey to gather more material for creating more thread, it did help stave off the inclement weather.
More like a ring of warmth. At least just from the sounds of it.
But I do know that it is indeed magical. I'm just not entirely certain what exactly it does magically. But I do know that it has sizable value and it should at least be worth as much as that rug.
Ain't wrong.
I gotta look over at Wilhelmina and it's like, you want rid of this rug, don't you?
I mean, it is technically the party's rug, so it's everybody's decision.
Alright then.
I
Out of
mean,
character level, unless it's Strahd, who the hell is else is gonna take this rug?
We don't know.
That's true.
yeah. I mean, we blew up a windmill. We've done quite a few interesting things already.
Yeah. I'm gonna vote to keep the rug, but it's up to you guys, because you can outvote me.
I'm kind of for voting on keeping the rug, just simply to see what author can come up with.
I mean, that's fair. Out of character, like, I can't, fault that. In character, she wants to get rid of this fucking thing.
Well, it looks like you guys will be keeping the rug because it's going to be a stalemate. Unless Kajix decides he actively wants to keep the rug, at which point it's keep the rug.
Keep it.
So, as you turn down the offer of the Ring of Warmth, there's a little bit of a frown as he goes, I understand. Unfortunately, I do not think I've got anything else that would be comparable. And he puts the ring back in the box and puts the box away. He looks genuinely sad.
If we change our mind, we know where you are.
Does his face at least light back up?
There's a little bit of a smile back, but he does not want to. He wants to temper his expectations.
Roll up the rug and put it on my back.
So, as you head out, there's really only one last shop that you guys could potentially check out. And that is the herbalist. Is that where we go next, everyone?
I can't talk. Sorry. I mean, I don't mind going just to see what's there.
Same.
All right, so as you enter into this tiny hovel with dirt floors and vines climbing through the wooden walls, you realize that it's literally just a little hovel. It's not even a store. And the only reason why you guys know about it is because somebody told you about it. If you just went walking by, you would have thought it might have been a dilapidated ruin that nobody lived in. And as you come in, you see this, little old woman, sitting there. All right, so you come in, and your senses are hit with just a cacophony of herbs, just different kinds of fresh herbs. It's almost a soothing earthiness in this tiny hovel as you come in. And upon coming in, you hear, or upon knocking on the door, you guys don't just barge in, because as you approach, you realize this isn't a store. This is a person's fucking house. You knock on the door and see a little old lady, and she looks at you all and
oh, welcome. Come on in. I don't get guests too terribly often, especially not in groups.
She turns around, toddles back into the room a little bit more.
Grub would be one of the first to follow in, if he's not the very first. He smiles because it seems kind of like, while it may be a hovel, maybe with the presence of all the plants and whatnot, just kind of feels a little bit homely.
Oh yeah, there's lots of, like, the herbs are hanging and drying. You can see that she does have a little bit of like an alchemy bench where she, probably brews some potions and ointments and whatnot. But she's got like a almost what at a glance could be easily mistaken for like a fishing tackle box, in that it opens up and there's multiple like shelves upon shelves that come out, and each one has, all of them have fine powders in each of them of different colors and different hues. And as you guys come in, you see her taking a mortar and pestle with a fine powder ground up in it and pouring it carefully into one of the compartments and closing a lid on it. And the lids are like they're glass, so you can see through them, but they like slide in on tracks instead of like snapping down or hinge closes. And she goes,
So, what can I do for you for? About a mixed set of couples if I've ever seen one. Is it performance anxiety? Performance issues? Do we need performance enhancement?
She kind of looks between Grub and Ren, going,
Something for the equipment?
waggles her eyebrows aggressively.
Not expecting that, kind of just sputters a little bit. He's like, no, ma'am. We're just.
She fucking cackles, like a very, very, very entertained,
Oh, you are precious. I knew you weren't here for anything like that. You don't carry yourself like that.
She kind of gestures to, there's a couple of potions, and she goes,
if you were here for that, I'd be pointing you to that shelf right there. That'll get the job done. Though, if you were a bit of an ass, I'd sell you this instead. At which point she pulls out a potion that looks exactly the same as the one she pointed to on the shelf over there.
Grub just kind of nods, like he's understanding, but he really doesn't. He's like, oh, okay.
She stands up, kind of toddles over, reaches up, pats you on the cheek, and she goes,
Now you see, sometimes young men, and more often older men, have difficulties engaging in the fairer sex. That potion there makes him a surefire winner. This potion here,
Cracking up.
she shakes a bottle, gives him a bush you could braid for years. I mean,
Renault would arch an eyebrow and ask the most important question: where?
where it is the worst place to try to manage that level of overgrowth. Makes walking really, really uncomfortable if you can't trim it all down.
and she like grabs like the hems of her skirt and kind of holds it up and does a little like pantomime of waddling,
Oh, jeez.
and then she cackles some more.
The Terran is in fucking knots right now.
He's biting his lips, like he just does not know what to respond with.
She goes, oh, don't worry, it's not permanent. It only lasts for about a month.
A month.
Teaches a man respect. Come walking in here wanting a potion to allow him to wield his sword like a sword, commanding women however he pleases. So then I send him home and he drinks his potion thinking that he's going to be God's gift to the world, and all of a sudden he's needing a sword to deal with his own hedge issues.
Because literally the faulty version of the potion makes his entire manhood grow long, coarse hair for a month.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
I know. I read about this character and I was like, I love her.
Now just take her personality and put her in another game.
Don't forget the potions.
Is it too late for me to re-roll my character, Michael? Anyways.
No.
No, I'm still going to be using this personality. But anyways, she sits there and she goes,
But, truly, was it just curiosity that brought you to Jenny's shack?
Partially, yes. Mostly, yes.
Yeah, a fair amount. We're also, we're just traveling adventurers, looking for a little bit of aid, maybe some answers if you possibly have them.
Oh, aid and answers. Aid and answers. What kind of aid, what kind of answers are you looking for, my dearies? Because I have a wealth of knowledge.
When you say wealth knowledge,
My dear, look at me. I'm old.
look, I always have to make sure. I've been part of a traveling troupe before, so it's always good to ask. But carry on.
So what is it that you're looking for information about?
Grab kind of gives everyone in the group a knowing look, like, should we ask her about any of our clues?
I mean, may as well. She did say she's old.
Which one do we want to ask about first?
Hold on. The one that we're gonna have a hard time, really hard time with, is I think the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an idea where the fallen house was. Is that the one we had an idea about?
I think it was.
And then I think the mountain's the other one that we don't know a lot about.
I would want to bet if she's old. If we want to ask her about the wizard. I'm trying to look for those clues.
I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to the highest peak. Go to the mountains, climb the white tower guarded by the golden knights. Your greatest ally will be a wizard, his mind broken, but his spells are strong. Because I do think the wizard's going to be the hardest to find. I really do. It's really just the mountains and the wizard that we're kind of at a standstill trying to find.
Okay, so that's neat.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so. All right, so.
Yeah.
Your first question. What are you going to ask her? She says, she goes, I have an idea. I won't ask for you to give me any money or give me any treasure. But nothing in this world is truly for free.
Well, that's for damn sure.
So we shall play a game. Because I love a good laugh. I love fun. I love games. She pulls out a very interesting device. It looks like it could be like almost like a small little like desk lamp of some kind, like like with the how desk lamps have the screen, the shade, whatever the hell you want to call it. Except that instead of it being a shade around this center mast, and there's no light bulb or candlestick holder, it has vials hanging. A whole slew of vials. She goes, you ask a question, and if it's a question that I can answer, I will provide the information under the agreement that you will pick a potion and drink it. And she looks
immediately
eager as fuck.
Deal.
I love this.
I just want to ask one question.
And she
None of
spins the potions as she stares at you.
None of them will kill us, though.
She raises a finger, opens her mouth, and pauses. And you see her thinking really hard.
Oh.
I am at least 98% certain that none of them will kill you or cause lasting harm.
98%.
I'm pretty certain.
Well, there's nothing 100% certain in this world, so that's actually pretty good.
I mean, I think the only real risk, is if you happen to be allergic to one of the ingredients, but I think you should be fine. Yeah, you should be fine. And she just grins. There's no malice in it. It's just pure, unbridled, childlike mischief.
So we ask a question, you give us as much information as you can on the said question, and we drink a potion.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
It
Yes.
should be.
Oh, there could be worse ways to get information. I'm okay with this.
There
As long
really
as
are
there's no
worse ways
pies.
to get it. Oof. Yeah, that's true. No pies.
And she purses her lips and she goes, I'm not a fan of pies. Unless I made it myself. And preferably
like her.
apple.
I like this woman. She's our people.
With cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg.
Sounds great. I'm gonna push Wilhelmina forward a bit. You're first.
What is your question, dearie?
Want me to just like give Darren a stare, you whore.
Great big smile on my face. Fucking thumbs up. Like, you got this.
You know what? Wilhelmina's not gonna try to hide too much stuff. Out of character, I'm gonna try asking about the White Tower.
Okay.
Just so while I'm like thinking about something, but that's the one that I wanted to go to. Do you know anything about several golden knights perched near their wonderful white citadel?
As you start talking, and she claps her hands. Oh, you got a reading. You got a reading. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Do you have a map?
Yeah, because we did buy a map.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, you do
Yep.
have a map, and you've
Yep.
been slowly filling it out. Give me just a moment. Let me finish writing down my notes for the potions that you guys are going to be drinking.
I'm excited.
Oh, so am I. That's funny. Oh. That's funny, that's funny. That's that. All right, and then the last potion is that. Okay, sorry, got that squared away. All right, so let me switch over to the map layer. So, as you ask, and I will need you to repeat exactly what you ask of her.
I pretty much asked, do you know of the Golden Knight that protect their white citadel?
Oh, the Citadel, the Golden Knights. Oh, that's down in Solenka Pass. Yeah, so And she sits there and she takes her finger, and you see her start tracing. She starts tracing. And she's like, well, you go east out of the city. Actually, here, one sec. Let me. I gotta shift this around so that chat can see as well. Okay. There we go. All right, so she sits there and she goes, first you go west out of the city, follow the road. It's a few days' travel. Assuming that you don't find any trouble along the way.
Grub sits there and mumbles, we probably will.
And as you travel through the mountains, you will eventually find your way to the Citadel, where the Golden Knights await.
So it's near Luna Lake.
Yes, indeed. Now that she has given you the name of that road. Ah!
I was just making a small note of where it was at, and then stuff moved. You know what? I'm gonna make this thick, because I cannot see that pink right now.
There we go. That's what I meant to do. There we go. Zelenka Pass. To which she...
I put pink there just so we kind of know the direction.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that area.
Okay.
So, to which she sits there and she gives a quick spin to the potions. And she goes, all right, dearie. Whenever you're ready, just reach out a finger and stop the spin, and that will be the potion that you will drink.
Alright. Wilhelmina just watches it as it goes, as she waits about 5 to 10 seconds and then puts her finger down.
All right. I would like for you to roll me a d4. Because I rolled 4 different potions, and you guys will each get one of these. All right. So, as you pluck the potion from its holder on the strange spinning device, Jenny looks very eagerly at you, all excited. As you pop the top, you bring the vial to
I'll
your
go down.
lips. You take a sniff, and it.
Oh no.
Let me scroll down here. I need you to roll for me 2d100. Like separately.
2d100?
Roll me a 1d100 twice.
Okay.
Huh?
That's unpleasant. So this is what you rolled. It smells like blood.
Oh.
But as it goes across your tongue, it tastes like roast meat.
Mm.
Mm.
So terrible tastes great.
Yeah.
Like a really juicy Sunday roast.
Yes. And as
Those roast raw, man.
as the liquid passes over your tongue and travels down into your stomach, and you suddenly feel the churning, roiling sensation of the magic within the potion preparing to take hold and do whatever it is it's going to do, we will bring tonight's session to a close.
Oh boy. Bitch. Alright.
And we will find out what exactly it was that Wilhelmina just drank on the next session of Curse of Strahd.
Dun,
Oh.
dun,
Yay.
dun.
Oh, that's mean.
Oh, yeah. I was anticipating that. I'm very happy. Thank you guys for playing, and I want to thank everyone in chat for coming and hanging out.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thanks
for
for running,
hosting.
dude.
Thank you.
Now I have to figure out some rug-related ideas on how to use this thing.
But I'm going to get ready to raid out. I'm not sure where we're going to raid off to, but set up a raid, and I will be back in a little bit to chat with you guys.